He who finds his life will lose it, and he who loses his life for my sake will find it. How do we practice that? For me, it's always at the breath. When we breathe out, we lose ourselves, but we must have this intention. And when we breathe in, we are living for Him, when we empty ourselves on Him. But supposing when we are breathing in, we want to enhance ourselves, then we will lose ourselves, because the evil one will soon get us. Because when we try to do things on our own, it will be all your experiences, that he will deviate you from the way of Jesus, being a Christian. You'll start doing things thinking that you're doing good, but he slowly takes you off. And then you find yourself afterwards regretting for what you have done. And therefore, my dear sisters and brothers, whatever inspiration you receive, you must always keep it out onto the Lord by Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. You're not taking His name in vain. Your intention is to keep everything out in Jesus, all the inspirations that you have received. And He will give you the best when you are truly united to Him. Because each one of us is a unique cell in His body. And He has a particular work to do through each one of us. And when we are aligned to that, we will be very happy and satisfied. At the moment, whatever you're doing, are you doing it in Him, through Him, and with Him? You'll say yes, but not true. Because your whole being is not oriented towards that. And therefore, every day you have to take up this cross, which will come to you, and keep it in Him, and you will see that even the crosses will be very easy for us to bear. See now what happens to the Egyptians. They are jealous of these people who are Israelites, and they are doing well. Because you see, Joseph had come there, and Joseph was the second in command after the Pharaoh. And so he had done well. But when the next Pharaoh comes and he has died and his memory is kind of gone, now these people are so many. So that he says, let us now finish them off. How do we do that? Give them more burden. And at the same time, they can't do without them because they have no workforce. These are slaves. Let's treat them like that. So you see what happens. When you are belonging to Jesus and people do such things to you, try to eliminate you, they will also be not spared for the wicked things that they do to others. God will not punish them. They will punish themselves. Because when we do evil, it is sourced from evil, and evil only has for us hell ready for us. And so they will burn in hell. Not God putting us into hell, because God is one with all of us, because we are all in the likeness and image of God. So this kind of understanding we do not have. We do not understand it. But that's the reason why we need the Holy Spirit to help us to understand this properly. And therefore, when we give someone even a small little thing like a glass of water, because he's a disciple of Jesus, then you will receive your reward. You will not go without it. And so if you don't do that, you will also receive a reward not from the Lord, but from the evil that you do, because evil will repay you with evil. So now, when such things happen, how do we live? I want to put before you two saints. One is a group of nuns who lived in the 18th century. When the French Revolution started, in 1792, they took up a work by which they started eliminating all the religious. So this group of nuns, who are cloistered Carmelites, they took them and got them out of the convent and said, you are going to live as lay people. Take out these habits, live like ordinary people. That was one of their, thing which they did. And so they kept them out. What did the sisters do? They did not remove their habits, nor did they stop praying together. For this, they were guillotined. They were simply finished off. The youngest was sent first and the old one last. But they were prepared to do that. And so they died for a cause which was living not for themselves, but living their call to be one with God. And this type of things happen even now. We know how everyone who is in command tries to eliminate Christians, but that they will have their reward. There's another example of another saint. His name is Alexius. This Alexius came from a well-to-do family, and he was educated well, he got married, but on the day of his marriage, he was tired of all this wealth and riches. So he told his wife, I'm going away, and so you remain in the house, you have all the wealth, everything. And he went to Edessa, and he lived in Edessa in the church of Our Lady. What did he do? He gave away all his whatever possessions he had, and he was like a beggar there. And he used to beg and pray for all the people who came there. Now what happened? Our Lady's statue spoke to someone and said, he is a very holy man. As soon as they came to know his holiness, people started flocking to him. Now he did not want this. So he left quietly, went back to his house, rich house. He went like a beggar. And he says, can you give me a job? And they gave him a job in the house under the staircase. It was a small place. And everyone was treating him badly, including his father, his wife, and his mother also. But he was very good. He did everything well. But somehow there was this negative towards him. When he died, they found his writing. And they realized, this was our son. They felt bad. But there were a lot of miracles that were taking place because of his hidden life, which he lived with Jesus. And many of us are also doing that. You live in Jesus, doing good, for which you will be not treated properly. But when it is so, keep it in Jesus, because in that way you're praying for those people who are doing you bad, and you're also praying for the world. And so let us ask the Lord to give us the grace always to remain united to Him and allow Him to live, love, and work through our thoughts, words, and deeds. Let's hold our hands like this. Keep them in your lap. Keep your back straight. Close your eyes. And as you breathe out, empty everything in you onto Jesus. All your experiences, your thoughts, your feelings, your desires. And when you breathe in, you will receive all the good things from the Lord. And keep emptying even the good things that you have received, so that internally you are free. You're not dependent on anything but the Lord Himself. For He truly is our all.